How do you find the perfect realtor team for you? These are our best tips. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm really glad you're here today because we're talking about an important subject, and that's how to find the right realtor or realtor team for you when you are purchasing or selling a home. We help over 60 clients a year, and so I feel like we have a very good perspective to share on this. This video isn't just trying to be like a plug for our services, but truly we want to give you advice whether you're buying or selling in Clark County or elsewhere. So hopefully this is very helpful to you. If you are buying or selling a home in Clark County, we'd be honored to serve you, so reach out to us. Our contact information is down below. You can text, email, or DM us and we'll set up an appointment and see if we're a good fit. All right, so I have a whole bunch of different tips here to share with you guys. They're kind of all over the spectrum, so let's just get into it. My first tip for you is you want to find someone who you at least somewhat like to work with. If you choose someone who you abhor, you don't like their personality, you find yourself clashing with them, it's just gonna be really difficult. You're spending a lot of time with, this person, these individuals, and you're gonna be communicating a lot, so you need to find someone who you at least somewhat get along with. They don't need to be your best friend. I know there's a lot of realtors out there who kind of put that as their persona, I'm your new best friend, whatever, but find someone you like. On a similar note, working with a friend who you only know personally might be a bad idea. I'm not saying for sure it's a bad idea, but it might be a bad idea, and let me tell you why. If you know someone only in the personal world and then you cross over into professional, it can get a little weird without anyone doing anything wrong, right? The client doesn't do anything wrong, the realtor doesn't do anything wrong, but you're sharing a lot of personal information, a lot of times sensitive financial information, maybe there's a divorce going on, something else behind the scenes, and it can just be hard to cross over those worlds. So you have to know the person that you're potentially working with and think about, what if things go wrong? Are we going to be able to continue to have our friendship? For myself, there have been times where I have said no to working with friends before. And it's not because I don't like my friends, it's actually because I love my friends. And I want the best for them, and I want to make sure that their interests are put first and things don't go weird. And so there have been times where I've referred friends to other realtors in Clark County who I really trust, and it's been purely a professional relationship between those two, and it's worked out really well. There have been times where we worked with friends and it's been great. And there's been times where we worked with friends and something just went weird. No one did anything wrong. So really consider that heavily before you start working with a friend. I will also say that good realtors will never make you feel obligated to work with them because you're friends. My friends have absolutely no obligation to work with me, and I want to make sure they don't feel like they are. I don't think that's appropriate. So, find someone who has your best professional interests at heart. My next thing for you to consider is that a lot of realtors work in teams, and this is not necessarily a bad thing. It is unrealistic to think that one person should be doing everything in this industry. And for some reason, it is a standard that it seems only the real estate industry is held to. When I think of Core 4 advisors, right, I think of attorney, CPA, financial planner, and realtor. The other three, when I've worked with these other three, which I have all of them, they always have multiple admins behind the scenes, and they always have, like, you could call them junior advisors, right? Kind of second up people that are helping my main advisor. And that's fine, right? Those admin people, they get me the answers quicker, they, do the little things that need to get done, and my main advisor is still there doing the advising. They're what I call the head of strategy, but they're not working solo. It would be really odd to me if any of those three people had no one working for them. I would find that a sign of struggle. Maybe they're not doing well, they don't have any staff working for them. So in that same way, a lot of realtors work in teams. Here at Dubyne Realty Group right now, we have 2 staff that work for us, and it's great, we love it. They're incredible. And we have partner agents who help out as well. So, we'll still be your head of strategy, but we work in a team to give you the most efficient results. On a similar note, every realtor and every team works completely differently. This is very confusing for people to understand, and honestly, it was very confusing for me when I started my career as well, because we're all called realtors, we're all called real estate agents, we all have the same license to do the same thing, But we operate, I am telling you, in different universes. I am in a completely different universe than the person who helps 5 to 10 clients a year. Like, we're not anywhere near the same. And so just realize if you've had past experiences with realtors, they might operate, a new one might operate a completely different way, and that's okay. That's just how it is. In that same way, when there's real estate teams, the way the team interacts with each other, the way they flow can be completely different. So just be open and flexible and try not to have too much of a rigid expectation with how they're gonna work together. They're their own separate businesses. When you're looking for someone with good experience, what matters most is frequency and relevant experience. Someone who has been selling homes for 20 years, they might be selling 10 houses a year versus, someone maybe like myself. Well, I've only been in the industry for 5 years as of right now, but we help 60 clients a year. So I am getting, 5 times, 10 times the experience in a month, 10 times the transactions as someone else. If you don't have enough frequency and repetition in the market like recently, then you don't know what the market's like. If someone is only helping 1 client a month, respectfully, they are not getting enough repetition. Once a month, like, that's an eon in the real estate market. So much can change in a month. And so you really want to find someone who, in my opinion, they've got to do at least 15 to 20 a year. And that's going to give you enough repetition that that person is really on the pulse and they know what they're doing. A good way to verify what a realtor or a team actually sells is to look at their Zillow or their homes.com profile. Now keep in mind, this is only on market sales. Us at Dubyne Realty Group, we do 10% of our business a year approximately off market. That's never going to show up online, so you need to give a little bit of grace about that. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone's lying. We do sell houses off market. I would look at homes.com for our area. It is usually pretty accurate with home sales. It's not 100% accurate, but it will actually show what realtors are selling. Zillow is good too. My Zillow doesn't work because Zillow won't connect the profile for me, so you can't see anything on my Zillow, but you can see on my homes.com. Next tip for you is what a realtor charges should not be your sole criteria, and it honestly shouldn't be your #1 deciding factor as well. When you hire a realtor, what you're hiring for is experience and outcome. That's it, the experience and the outcome. This is not a commodity product where you can go around to different stores, shop the exact same thing and get the cheapest price. Not a commodity product. This is a experience and outcome. Again, I go back to thinking of Core 4 advisors, CPA, attorney, financial planner, and realtor. All of these people, they charge high prices. It's a high dollar value service. It's a very important service if done correctly. And who you hire dramatically shifts your outcome. And when your outcome is a house, which is hundreds of thousands, if not many millions of dollars, that can be, shifted dramatically in one way or another. All this to say, if you end up hiring a realtor primarily because they charge less, but they don't do as good of a job, they make the process really painful for you, as a seller, they net you less money, they fumble it. As a buyer, they don't get you a good deal. You didn't save money. You probably lost money. And it's hard because you don't get to go both avenues. You don't get to see what happens if you did or didn't choose them. You just have to take a route. But I can tell you with certainty that the people whose value proposition is we charge less, for all 4 of these Core 4 advisors, they're not as good at what they do. The people who are good at what they do, they are going to charge more, but they're going to get you better results. So I would really advise you to look at your realtor holistically in that way. Similarly, many realtors unfortunately act in desperation. It is very hard for me to see this as a professional in the industry. I think it makes a very bad name for our industry, but it's the reality. I would say the bottom 60% of realtors are always acting in desperation. You should aim to work with someone who does not act in desperation. And that means someone who doesn't need your business. A lot of people, I find they like to be needed, which I get it, right? But if someone needs a paycheck, if they're only selling 10 houses a year, right? Each additional client they help is plus or minus 10% on their income. That's a giant swing. For us at Dubyne Realty Group, we're doing fine financially. Just to let you know, like we're good. We're paying our bills. we don't have to take on any one client. And so that allows us to align with the people that are right for us. And we do say no to some people respectfully, right? It's not a personal thing, but sometimes we say, hey, we're not the best fit for you. We're not gonna be able to help you. I don't think our personalities are aligning here. If you work with someone who's acting in desperation, then they just might not have your best interests in mind. So aim to work with someone who doesn't need your business, but is still motivated. That probably means someone who loves what they do. You have to love what you do if you don't need the business, but you're still gonna be motivated. Local experts win every time. I am very passionate about this. There are some realtors who say they cover 5 counties or they cover the whole state. If you're on the East Coast and you cover a whole state, that's totally good because those states are tiny, but Washington's huge. And it is literally completely diverse in terms of the market, the people, the houses. I've lived all over it. I would never feel good about covering the whole state of Washington, but I know some realtors that do. And what happens is their knowledge is very wide, but it's not very deep. And when it comes to real estate purchase and sale, it's all about going deep. I take great pride in knowing Clark County very well. Clark County is, that's my sweet spot. I don't go outside of Clark County, really. I might go up to Cowlitz for the right person, and I might go out to 𝐍𝐞𝐢𝐠𝐡𝐵 if it's in Washougal, but I'm not going further than that. I'm really, really good at East County, and I'm really, really good at Camas, so those are my even more specialty spots. But just sticking in one smaller area allows me to know this area incredibly well, and everything that's going on, all the developers, all the news, all the changes, all the permits, all the builders, etc. If the realtor you've chosen has a process, try not to resist the process. Processes are a good thing, and they help us produce a consistent result for you and really bring you the best result. The example of this would be, it's mostly for buyers, but we go through multiple meetings with our buyers. We don't just do a phone call really quick, talk about what you want, and then go from there. Like, that's very unorganized. If someone doesn't have a process, if that's how they operate, you should be a little concerned because that's not good enough. For us, with our buyers, we meet them, right? And we have a conversation, no strings attached. We see if we're a good fit. I kind of ask them a lot of questions. And then we have a strategy session. And if someone resists our strategy session, if they refuse to do it, we can't work together because they're not fitting in our process and they're not gonna get a good result because of it. We know our process works. Trust the process. Same with the seller side, we're gonna have multiple meetings, and if they refuse to have these meetings, we might not be a good fit. We need them to not resist the process. The process is gonna bring the best result. All right, last tip for you guys, and that is if you are buying or selling a home outside of Clark County, Washington, even if that's over the river in Portland, please let us connect you with a great realtor, please. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of realtors in the United States, and again, we're operating different universes. You could choose someone who's really bad. You could choose someone who doesn't do a good job. I am part of the Tom Ferry Professional Network. There's maybe about 10,000 of us nationwide, and a very tight inner circle of very high producing, serious realtors who take our business very seriously. We love what we do, we love our clients, we're always trying to level up, and I would love to connect you with one of those people so you can feel good about working with someone amazing wherever you're at. I genuinely know folks in all of the major markets. I know a lot of people here on the West Coast. So please reach out to us and let us connect you. Those are all my tips, my main tips for choosing a great realtor for you. I really hope that this helped. Please email us if you need someone wherever you're at. I think it is so important to choose, the best person for the job when you are selling or buying a home. If you need help in Clark County, Washington, myself and my team at Dubyne Realty Group, we'd love to serve you, whether you're selling or buying. So email us, text, or DM us. We can't wait to see you soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.